Good morning from Bali. I'm Kat Kabira. And my question for you today is, how do you measure health? I remember when I was 15 and I was living in Switzerland at the time, and some woman saw me on the train and she was like, "You just look so healthy." And I actually took that as an insult because at the time I was climbing lots of mountains, I was skiing, I was rock climbing, I was quite active, but I also had like gotten fleshier and I was just eating really well. And looking back, like I looked amazing, but it was a juicy, strong voluptuousness that happens to my body when I move a lot, when I'm happy, and when I eat well. And because I'd been dabbling in and have had full-blown eating disorders, it I really made my body my enemy for a long time, and health was just like a dirty word. And I know that when I work with other people with eating disorders, like trigger words, that might be like great words for other people: health, nourishment, pleasure, that's all like a little bit of like a fuck you. And, we've all been indoctrinated by what the ideal body type is. And as a reminder, the ideal body type is usually the one that's hardest to achieve. And, the one benefit of getting older, and I'm not going to tell you how old I am, though I allude to it, but like I'm definitely older than you might think, is that suddenly you're like, oh, fuck, health does matter. Like I want to have my teeth, as I get older. I want to take care of my skin. I want to have strong bones. So I actually found that I changed my diet just because I wanted to have stable hormones, stable blood sugar, strong teeth, strong hair, things that, when we're younger, we don't really think about. So I am curious what health is to you, because, for a lot of us women, there is this, a lot of it's indoctrinated. And I've said in other videos, there's actually a gene for eating disorders. So there's kind of like, we've all been affected by diet culture. And then there are those of us where it's like, and then we've taken it to the extreme. But I think body shaming of the female body is kind of, it's everywhere, and it's something that we really need to break this spell. And also to know that our value is our energy, our life force, our joy. So, that's my question: is how do you evaluate your health? Because as women, we are meant to naturally kind of like expand and contract. We're wavy. We go with the moon. Think about how your uterus is building up and then it's shedding. Like we're meant to do that. And as much as science wants to be like, it's because of this and that, like if you do a lot of research, you're going to see lots of exceptions to the rule. And really the bottom line is what's healthy for you. So there's going to be like what's healthy in a way that makes your belly feel good, where you're not gaseous or like constipated or diarrhea. I'm just gonna be straightforward. Where your hormones are balanced, right? Like you're not like a crazy, like feeling like the world is ending, or like praying for your period or having painful periods, or, there's a myriad of things that happen. And also where it's like, you've got like strength. I will admit, like I've caught myself shaming myself because if I'm actually taking care of myself, I'm eating a lot more. Yeah, maybe I'm running faster and stronger and crazy stamina and like, I crazy what I can do. But my body's bigger than what's accepted by society, and I really have to watch myself to not plug in there. Right. And that's how we diminish our energy, is when we plug into this bullshit. Okay. So I really don't want you to plug into bullshit. Like you're too great for this. You've got big things to do. You did not incarnate to be concerned with your size all the time. Right. And it's like, as women, we're going to fluctuate. Even if you had the same exercise and food, let's just say you got that like rigid. Okay. I'm going to say it rigid, and not really listening to the ebb and flow of your body. There will still be, because of emotions and environment and just like things that science still hasn't figured out, of why you might be expanding and contracting. So to be healthy around your size is allowing there to be some movement room of like, yeah, somehow I'm, my body's changing this way. And oh, and now it's like I'm moving here. But allowing there to be like a 10 to 15 pound like range, what's not as healthy, and this is my opinion, and because I've done it, when I was more yo-yoing with my food and manipulating and being harmful, I would have a much bigger span with my body where it was like, 40-pound difference, which for my frame, because I'm smaller, that was not healthy. And there wasn't healthy intention behind any of it. But I realize now when I'm really taking care of myself, it's like, yeah, there's going to be a range. And we can be really hard on ourselves, and we can really attack our bodies when our body isn't the problem, right? We're not even the problem. And when can we stop making ourselves a problem? Now, the final thing I'm going to say is, can you let joy be your barometer, right? We're talking about movement. Why would you do something that wasn't fun? I remember an acupuncturist years ago, I just started drinking coffee after like not drinking it for like, I don't know, 5 or 8 years. And I was like, are you going to tell me, like every practitioner, like, don't drink coffee? Let's be a buzzkill. No offense, anti-coffee people. And he looked at me and he's like, do you love it? And I'm like, oh yeah. Like I've got all my little machines, my special beans that like I fresh grind, and my special cup. And like, it's a ceremony. Why would you deny yourself that? And that's where like a lot of health turns into denial. And I just want to put like a little bit of a, we're here to be moderated and balanced. Cupcakes aren't evil, brownies aren't evil. It's balance, moderation. We're not here to be rigid. And so to have fun with your movement as well. My favorite surf coach, I confessed to him, I'm like, dude, I just don't like big waves. Like I felt embarrassed to be like, I've got the strength and stamina, but I go through trauma when I get in those big sets, and I prefer the baby waves and the big board. He's like, yeah, do what you love. Why would we do something that we didn't love? Right? So my question for you is, how do you measure your health, and what's your relationship with pleasure? Have a beautiful day, and see you soon.